Hello and welcome to
A Couple Codes.
My name is Cody.
And my name is Emily.
And it's been a while.
How many weeks?
I have no idea. So we stopped doing the Odin Project for a little bit because from our last video, you guys will know that we started setting up a business. And we described a little bit about what we were doing, so we thought we'd follow up. It's taken pretty much all of the time that we were going to spend doing the Odin Project, but we're starting to wrap things up and starting to move forward and make some good progress with the business. So I'm just gonna give you guys a little bit of an update so you know where we're at.
So since our last video, we have first of all met with an accountant to talk about good bookkeeping practices and the tax implications of starting our own business. We hired a lawyer and we formed our LLC officially. And we're working with our lawyer to finalize our client contracts right now. We also built out our company website and we built a website for our very first client just to have something in our portfolio, but we aren't taking on any additional clients until we have all of our contracts finalized.
Yeah, so in addition to that, we've been going to some local tech meetups and specifically kind of the circuit that runs through our area and just trying to get out and about and start networking. I've also started applying for some jobs just to start getting practice with actually doing that in addition to the work that we've been doing for the business.
So we've learned a lot in the past month in addition to just all the logistics of setting up the business. Creating our website and our first client's website were really great experiences. We learned about working collaboratively with Git because we were both working on the same website at the same time, and at first we weren't using branches, so it was a little frustrating.
There were many conflicts with Git and pulling and pushing.
Yes.
But then we figured it out that we should be using branching if we're both going to be working on the same project. So it was a great time to actually start implementing that since we were really just learning that with the Odin Project. So
yeah, I think that's an interesting part. If you are completing the Odin Project on your own, you're mainly completing projects in isolation. The sooner that you can do anything collaborative, I think that's helpful for preparing you for the workplace with being able to work on the same project as other people and really get good with your Git practices. Something else that we've been learning is I've been taking on more of the design role for the websites. So I've been learning a lot about web design. One of my favorite resources is a book that I'm reading right now called Don't Make Me Think, Revisited by Steve Krug. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. But I definitely recommend this if you're interested in learning more about web and mobile usability. Is there anything else interesting that you've learned or you'd like to share?
Making our website and our client's website, as Emily was saying, has been really nice because we've actually been developing the process of how we would go about doing that. And since she's been working on the designs, I've been actually implementing the code, and then when she's completely finished with the design, she'll jump in to help out with a different page other than what I'm working on, or to check out the pages that have been made and touch things up within the code, the HTML and CSS. But it's been really nice to take designs and actually translate them into the user interface from the HTML, JavaScript, and CSS perspective. So that's been really cool to do, as opposed to doing a project and just like trying to come up with everything all at once and scrounge things together, which I think is a valuable and experience in itself, but now kind of getting more to a realistic situation for, I guess, a company that has designers or use designers. It's actually interesting to do that translation from a visual design to code. So that's something I've really appreciated.
And it's been really awesome to get to know Figma because we are learning more and more about its capabilities every time we're using it. So I absolutely love Figma for doing all the design work.
Yeah, Figma is really nice. I like that you can copy the CSS for something that a designer has made so that you can get that just right without having to guess and tweak things on your end, or like look at the sidebar menu. Just, it's a very nice software program.
Something else that's been interesting with the actual development has been practicing mobile first development. That's a big priority for our business because we want to build responsive, beautiful websites for small businesses with a very strong focus on having good mobile performance so they can have good search rankings, and obviously so users can have a great experience visiting their website on their phones. But you do have to be very intentional about actually building it mobile first. So it was kind of reminding me of when we were doing the Odin Project unit on test-driven development, and you have to like intentionally make sure you are actually running a test first that fails and then fixing it to make it pass. So that's been nice to actually develop those skills instead of just, talking about mobile first development and the importance of it.
Yeah, and it's been a little bit tricky with doing that because we're basing our code off of a desktop design, and then as like doing it mobile first, we're actually going to take that general design and then try to make it work for mobile specifically. Just to be as kind of minimal as possible with the design, because you can get really fancy within Figma, but just to keep things simple, like we were just having that single page kind of design and then translating that into code. Trouble that I would get in would be like, all right, I'm gonna just create that exactly, so then I would forget about mobile first for a second, and then I'd get it to work for the design that's designed for desktop. Then I'd be like, oh wait, crap, I gotta do this for mobile now. And so then I'd have to take a step back and actually have to kind of redo. So I'd kind of commit it and then actually do mobile first and use the code that I already did for desktop, but then having the appropriate tweaks to do mobile first within the system that we're using. So definitely nice to actually practice switching the contexts and doing what you're actually trying to practice to do. Like very much like the test-driven development.
Yeah, and this is all a learning process. So we might change our design protocol so that we do have a desktop version and a mobile version for designing. Or, if our system is working with just creating simplified version of the desktop design for the mobile, then we'll keep doing that. So it's all kind of a work in progress.
Yeah, and I think I like it though, because it keeps things fast so that we're not spending all of our time on just the design. We actually get into the code because we're learning this kind of system specifically. It is enough in itself to learn that, as opposed to then trying to learn all the other stuff as well. But yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah. Well, anything else to add for today?
I think that's it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'd love to hear from you all. We'd love to hear how you are doing on your coding journeys and what you've been up to.
Yeah, it's been nice to hear from a couple of you telling us about struggles or questions that you have. Definitely here to help out in any way that we can. And if you have any questions, definitely, like Em was saying, let us know.
Mm-hmm. And if you like these updates, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe if you'd like to get future updates from A Couple Codes.
Thanks for tuning in to
A Couple Codes.